What are the best blues scales for guitar? I'm going to answer that question in this video. Hello, my name is David and I help guitar players express themselves on the guitar. We're going to work with a blues in A today. 3 chords, the 1, the 4, and the 5. Before we get into the scales, we need to understand what that means. What is the 1, 4, 5? Explanation. Answering that question is very simple. We're going to take a major scale in A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 notes. If I build a major chord from the first note, that's the first degree. If I build a major chord from 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th note, that's the 4th degree. If I build a major chord from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th note, that's the 5th degree. 3 chords, 1, 4, 5. Those are the chords of the backing track, which you can find and download for free by signing up to the link below. Again, it's completely free. The reason you need to sign up is to get access to all the downloads of all the videos on the channel. The reason I had to explain what those degrees are, 1, 4, 5, is that some of the blues scales for guitar we're going to talk about don't work over all the degrees. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's get started with the first scale. Let's see if you can recognize it. The beauty of this scale is that it can be used over 3 degrees of our blues. It works on the 1 that I'm playing right now. Works on the 4. Great, same scale. It will also work on the 5th degree. Which is coming up right here. Yes, it was the minor pentatonic scale. We had to start with that one because if you don't know any blues scales for guitar, that is the one that you need to know. It will work over basically everything. So that's the first scale, A minor pentatonic scale, which we're going to use as our basis for all the other scales. Whenever you feel lost with what's coming next, well, go back to the minor pentatonic scale to your safe zone. Here's our second one. Sounds a little different, right? But not too different. Our second scale is the major pentatonic scale, and I promise we're going to get a little more exotic, but let's get out of the way the major pentatonic scale, which, just like the minor pentatonic scale, will add that blues flavor to your solos. However, you need to be a little bit careful. The major pentatonic scale is not going to work on the 3 degrees. It will work great on the 1st and the 5th degree. The 4th degree, let's keep it minor pentatonic scale. Let's see what it sounds like. So here's my 1st degree, major pentatonic. 4th degree, minor. And 1st degree, back to major pentatonic scale. Yep, that was minor. Back to the 1, major pentatonic. Here's the 5th degree, I could still do major. 4th degree, minor. And back to major. All right, we're getting into the good stuff. The next one is Mixolydian. Yes, you've heard of Mixolydian, I'm sure, but do you know how to use it? Maybe. If not, check this out. You can see the Mixolydian mode as a major pentatonic scale to which we are adding a 4th and a flat 7. So all together, that's what we have in the first position. Like I said, the Mixolydian mode and the major pentatonic scale are intimately linked. You find that major pentatonic scale within the Mixolydian mode. So it works just like the major pentatonic scale. It'll work on the 1st and 5th degree. Here it is on the 1st, minor pentatonic, because we're on the 4th degree. Back to Mixolydian. Use the minor pentatonic. And back to Mixolydian. On the 5th degree. I should say that if you don't like the sound of the Mixolydian mode, don't use it. That is completely okay. Those ideas are just what I like to hear. If you don't like to hear it, that's great. Don't use it. Okay, the next one is kind of similar to Mixolydian. It's actually my favorite scale ever. When in doubt, use Dorian. Now, that's the topic for another lesson, but let me show you what Dorian is. The Dorian mode, or Dorian scale, is a minor pentatonic scale to which you are adding a major 2nd and a major 6th. And that mode works great, in my opinion, on the 1st and 4th degree. Here it is on the 1st, the 4th, the 4th degree. And back to the 1st degree. Now I can play minor pentatonic if I want. Here's the 5th degree. I can't use Dorian. I don't think it sounds good on that. So on that 5th degree, maybe use minor pentatonic or Mixolydian. It doesn't really matter. Use Mixolydian. We're going to get into the weird stuff, the weird scales, exotic modes, and things like that. So be careful. I don't use it all the time, but if you want to inject into your blues solos a little bit of spice, those scales are great. The first one, the first two ones, are the diminished scales. I say two because there's two variations of those. Let's take a look. The first variation, we'll start with the root, which is A in this case, and then we're going to go a half step above, so 1 fret above, and then 2 frets above, 1 fret above, 2 frets above, 1, 2, 1, 2. You see the pattern there? So it starts with a half step, whole step, and then it just keeps going. The second scale, the second diminished scale, is a variation, and this time it starts with a full step. So 2 frets, 1 fret, 2 frets, 1 fret, 2 frets, 1 fret. It's actually a very, very simple scale to play. We're going to play 4 notes per string. Let me show you the fingering for the first variation. We'll start with our index on the 6th string, 5th fret, and then a half step above, it's going to fall very naturally with the middle finger on the 6th fret. I hope you're doing this with me. It'll really help you instead of just looking at it. And then pinky on the 6th string, 8th fret, and then we're going to slide our pinky 1 fret higher to the 9th fret. This is, in my opinion, the easiest way to play this. So you're really alternate picking the first 3 notes, down, up, down, slide. Down, up, down, slide. You can go do up if you want, but I really like this sound and the way it feels. Once you did that, your index finger is naturally falling on the 6th fret here, which is the fret you're going to start on for the 5th string, and do the same exact pattern. And then same exact pattern here, your index finger falls naturally on the 7th fret, and then here is the 8th fret. So all together, it's very, very simple to play and very easy to speed up. And then here, there's a little variation. Your index finger doesn't fall exactly where it should. It falls on the 9th fret, but it should start on the 10th fret. And that's because of the weird tuning, you know, between the 2nd and 3rd string. There's a weird tuning thing here. But that's it. That's for the diminished scale. The other variation, same exact fingering. The only difference is that instead of starting with the root, with the index here. I'm gonna start 1 fret below. Okay, where do we use that weird scale? Anywhere. It works on the 1, the 4, the 5. Just don't do it often. Just do it in between chords maybe, or when you're really bored of your minor pentatonic scale. Something like that, some transition type of stuff. Let's try that in context. It does add a little bit of tension, but if you use it properly, it can really spice up your blues solos. The next scale we're going to talk about is the whole tone scale. It has this name because each note is separated by a full tone, a full step, 2 frets. Let's see what it sounds like over the backing track. I'm going to start simple, minor pentatonic. You heard it there, right? Just a few little simple spices and injections to that. It works great on the 5. Or the turnaround, which happens right here. This one is my favorite, but it's also the riskiest. If you use it too much, or if you use it at the wrong time, it's gonna sound like crap. This is the Lydian Dominant scale. In order to be dominant, a musical thing needs to have 2 things happening at the same time. It needs to have a major 3rd and a minor 7th. Lydian doesn't have a minor 7th, but we're gonna make it dominant by changing that 7th to a minor 7th. Take a look at this. This is the Lydian mode in A. We've got 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna make that dominant by changing that 7 to a minor 7. Right there. And this is great over the blues because it adds this really interesting open, weird note. Like I said, we can't use it all the time. It's gonna sound weird. But if you land on that note that really makes it Lydian dominant, magic happens. Let's give it a try over the backing track. Again, we need to be super careful. We'll start with the minor pentatonic scale. Very safe. Maybe add a little bit of Mixolydian. Minor pentatonic. I'll try to do it here. See if you can hear it. Not here, but here. Yeah. It works great after a turnaround. So the turnaround is coming here. I'll play a little bit of maybe whole tone. Here it is. Uh-oh. You know what? I'm caught in the solo now. I can't stop. It's a common problem. If you want to fix that, check this out because I'm not stopping. That video will teach you how to finish a guitar solo. Remember, you can download all the backing tracks, the tabs under. Check this out. This is how I'll end it.